What's up, guys? It's Mrjamvad, and today we are back on the Pokemon Showdown server. And we're gonna be featuring a Sun team. But before we begin, man, had a great before, definitely join the Academy Discord. But more so today, they were just really great conversations of people discussing the article. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look in the description. It's the one that says if you're struggling with anxiety on the ladder, that will help. But it's not just about that, but it was designed, that's what's the intention when I initially wrote it, and then it went into other things. But yeah, really solid, and they were just basically describing that, and I was just happy to see how this whole thing panned out. Initially when I started the academy, who knew what to expect, and it just evolved. I think that's a beautiful thing. Also, I'll talk about that afterward. But yeah, let's address this team at hand. We're fighting fellow Sun, which we do okay with. I mean, we're fairly even in the sense of like he nukes me, I nuke him. So it's gonna be more of a game of who nukes who first. Now, upside, Torkoal is Spadef and can potentially smack his Venusaur of growth. Now, downside, if he's timid Venusaur, then and even then, like, we're at best a speed tie, so that's not an ideal situation for us. And so we are gonna have to make sure that the Mandai buzz, we're gonna have to make sure that we're always positioned to where Venusaur can't run rampant, and to do so, I think I'm gonna double down on the hazards. Fortunately, I have a hazard controller. He doesn't. As far as he's gonna be hesitant to go for Stealth Rocks with his Seismitoad, and that's gonna be a big deal. Though I'm not sure. I can get them up with Torkoal. That's actually pretty effective. I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna get around like something like Ninetales. Well, what I'll do is, well, this is actually horrible for us. Did not expect him to lead with Charizard. This is actually horrendous for us. I mean, what was I gonna do? Like, looking back, my only I guess I could have led with Mandibuzz. And I'm debating now because I need this to be again healthy for. So what I'll do is I'll have to give up my Seismitoad. Thankfully, I have two rockers on this one. Obviously Toad's not gonna take this well. So be it. I'm just gonna get mine. I'm gonna get mine where I get in where I fit in, kind of thing. And so I'm gonna get my Zard in and murk him back. This is the biggest problem to me. This is my main Mandibuzz issue. Once this goes away, then he's gonna really struggle with Hatterene as he goes Ninetales. Again, gonna get in where I fit. I'm not sure what this tail is gonna do. Now I control Sun, which is a pretty big deal, and he's slower than me, and so positionally he's not looking too great. You'd have to go to voice crack. You'd have to go to Venusaur. Wildmon, hell yeah. And so I'd have to run a calc. I'd want to believe Charizard's Spadef isn't the worst, right? Yeah, it's 207. So I find it pretty unlikely that a Venusaur could knock out Zard. I need to start calcing more. I've become very lazy with calcs. Very lazy with calcs. OU Showdown usage, sure. So it's bomb 67 to 79, assuming modest life orb. So it's in my favor. Crazy that he goes to Clef, so this is gonna evaporate, and Sun wears out. Nope. So now I'm definitely within the range. Upside though, yeah, I can't really deal with this. Upside though, now Hatterene is looking mighty handsome. Very problematic. I'm not picking up any more KOs with Zard beyond. Well, what I could do is opt for a Mandibuzz play here. Now if he grows, kudos. Yeah, I figured poisoning would be bad, yada yada yada. What I can do here is opt for the Mandibuzz. I can't really double down on Zard. I don't think this turn was avoidable, because if I sack Zard, I'd have to go to. Well, actually, I could have went to Torkoal, but then if he went to Zard, he got another kill. I can't have him coming in with Zard on a turn where Sun is gonna stay up. And so what I'll do here is Roost. If he groats, well, thankfully he went to Mandibuzz, so this is a win-win situation for us. So now we control the Sun, and let's see what that means for us. Hatterene being in means then, okay, so this is excellent. It's excellent. Since we control the Sun, we can go to our Zard and there's nothing you can do about it. At most speed time, I mean, he can play around with Seismitoad. I'm debating whether or not I want to just air slash. Air slashing straight up means what for us? I mean, we obviously, but do we want to give up an extra, a spare mon when we can avoid it? Especially Specs versus, I know you'd never go for, I know you'd never go for, what's his face? Stealth Rock. Even if he does, our Mandibuzz can chill. So I'm gonna do is just assume the Scald. Why throw away the Charizard, right? And this gives us leeway to Sludge Bomb, anticipating Mandibuzz. Even if he stayed in, it wouldn't have mattered too much. We get to double bomb here. I want to go Zard, but because I don't need this to win, and if he opts for Roost, yeah, because I don't need this. Zard here means, oh, let's go Hat, and so this puts us in a phenomenal spot because we can Psychic Card unless he's knockoff. That would be annoying, but if he chooses to stay in here, risking a potential fairy move, like so, it's fairly low risk. Again, knockoff would be the only annoying thing. Foul Play won't be doing any damage, and his other move is U-turn, as he's shown. So if he stays in and after this, then he opens himself up to Venusaur and Charizard. And so Charizard comes in, Psychic crits. I mean, he just crit me, so hey, I'll take that. And so now we're in a spot where Charizard can come in and do what the fuck it wants to do. As we're gonna go to Mandibuzz, the weakest link. And we just Roost stall. I mean, we could. I don't think he's gonna stay. But even if he does switch out, Roost is just the best play. If he groats, that means he's committing to staying in. Because otherwise, I think Roost Sludge Bomb growth leaves me at higher health anyway. So basically, if I Roosted there and then he growth and then Sludge Bomb, I'd leave at a higher amount. If he Sludge Bombs as I U-turn, I'd leave at like 3%. How much is it? Maybe not 3%, but relatively low. Not relatively low. And so that was just my best play. Again, I grabbed 2 games of practice today. Actually was meant to practice some more. Today was such an interesting day, y'all. Man, so usually my routine is getting up, workout, and I've been back to my 4 a.m. So I got up 4 a.m. because the gyms are open again, and so I want to reinstate my routine, and I'm going back in to work next Friday. And so in an attempt to reestablish the routine, I was like, okay, I'll get up at 4 and start getting back up super early. And so did that yesterday. It was a relatively productive day long, but got things handled. And so today I woke up same time, didn't go to the gym because I had to get some of my car checked. So I was like, it wouldn't be I'd have to make too many trips, so I was just gonna go to the gym after that. Didn't end up getting that done, long lines. And through that, I just said fuck it, and I drove to like a park, and I just laid in the fucking grass. Well, I had a blanket and stuff, but like, and just chilled. My body was, I don't know, my body was killing me, bros. It felt like I'm like, I felt like this before, and usually like, I push myself over the top sleep wise and work all the time too. Something happens, and so I was like, fuck it. Oh, I love starting this one. Problem is Toxic's a bitch. Definitely Venusaur is my biggest like asset, as will Hatterene be. I can't deal with Obstagoon, no normal resist, so limiting Obstagoon as much as possible. This might be, what's this guy's point? 1560. It's gonna be rough because I don't know what he knows, and so it's gonna be a tougher game. I'm gonna double down on Venusaur because again, it's just the biggest problem to him. Gonna double down on Venusaur, and I'm gonna double down on Charizard. In order to do so, I'll need Stealth Rocks up pronto. I didn't formulate a proper game plan, so him opting for Toxapex is actually really good here. What's his hazard control? What's his face? So if he has, I have to, because what I want is for this to ideally either be burnt or be within a certain range, right? However, because I want it when Charizard comes in, but I can't guarantee the burn. And I can't guarantee that he'd stay in. I didn't think he'd T-Spike. One, because I have a Venusaur. But because he has T-Spikes, I know he doesn't have Toxic. And it's likely that he doesn't have. So I'm going to Scald here. I don't get why he'd pivot to Clef. Because it's max per def. And then Clef would allow me to absorb the T-Spike. So whatever. And so this is where I'm gonna really start doubling down. So I'm gonna pivot to Cole here as he Thunder Waves. So he's that kind of player. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna pivot to Charizard. This is what I meant when I said that I don't know what kind of player I'm dealing with, because like, why would you ever Thunder Wave a Venusaur? I know you're gonna take the hit. Well, actually, that makes sense if you're confident you're gonna take the hit. So I'm not sure if solar powered boosted flamethrower is gonna do the trick. But I know that he's gonna. Am I faster? I'm still faster. Please, Zard, for the love of God, I really need you right now, because you're my core breaker. Zard, please. But him staying with Clef lets me know, okay, his mindset isn't that far ahead. So it's like, okay, come on, man. Golly. I'll abuse the sun. Again, I don't think he's thinking very far ahead. And so what I'm going to do is Giga Drain hard here. I do think he's going to go directly to Hippowdon. And so, yeah. So now that's a really big deal. Generally, so Hippowdon's Corviknight. I got to play this well. I gotta play this well. And so I'm gonna pivot to my Charizard here. I was gonna Darkpole is the one thing under Sun that Venusaur cannot defeat. If this is a physical one again, so be it. Man, that Power Hacks turn on the Pex was huge, because I'm pretty sure I would have gotten a kill. It's a max per def Hippo, which is good to know. Thunder, Specs Thunder, just it's rough. It's a rough turn. I'm like, bro, how you gonna get the fucking Thunder hit and the power? I'm gonna U-turn though. I don't think he's gonna stand. Please, for the love of fucking God, man. Do you know how big of a turn that is? He does not get a kill here. I go Zard and well, actually I can't go Zard. But I go Venusaur, absorb the spikes, and then I pivot around. I pivot back to Mandibuzz. Now I'm gonna have to take 2 hits because the Venusaur has to. So something has to get poisoned here, which didn't need to be the case, and I get enough damage on the Obstagoon to where it's. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna quit, cause it is possible for. Oh, that's so frustrating. So what I'm gonna do is go Torkoal here and absorb the Facade, and I'll give up Charizard, and I'm gonna really double down on Venu here. If he opts to go to Toxapex this time, so be it. I'm gonna Weather Ball hard. I gotta aggressively target this down. If he goes Pex, so be it. I can win. If problem is if he goes to Corvi, so he goes Hippo. Bro, it's like super frustrating, man. And so I have to Giga Drain here. Now again, I still have outs. So he goes Corvi now, which I think was the correct play before. But this allows for him to U-turn. I'm still gonna go to my Torkoal here to reset up the Sun. I just didn't think he'd sack his Hippowdon there, because then you can't control Sun, and if you can't control Sun, the moment I get in on your Pex, it's over. And so for you to prioritize even going for Defog there is crazy to me. Keeps going Hippo. I am going to just Lava Plume hard. Please, for the fucking life. If this Pyres, I'm out of here. Man, that damage on Obstagoon was huge. I'm gonna have to long tail this. As he doubles to Obstagoon, I'm gonna have to long tail this game because I just cannot win otherwise. Mandibuzz plus Hatterene might be able to do it. Bros, that's the U-turn damage right there. That. But there was point on dwelling on it. These types of players that don't think and then get lucky frustrate me the most. They frustrate the shit out of me. Because then the mindset is, well, I won, so therefore I did everything correctly, right? And so I have to drain here. There's no real point in mystical firing. There's no point in mystical firing, especially if he doesn't die, because I'm not sure if burn plus mystical fire will. I'm not max for def. Obstagoon actually has solid defenses, and so ideal situation is somehow pulling this out with Hat. I might have to just do a session where I just like off screen just ladder my points back up, because only playing on this account while like if I like say games like these, if I lose, say goes Clef, it's just gonna heal, which is whatever to me. So I'll go Venu ZCMs. Very, very, very silly play. I don't know what the hell he was thinking there. I mean, he gets a kill back with Obsta. Goes Draga though. Disagree with Draga. But I definitely take at least 20% from Shadow Ball. And the issue is here that I can't. I need my Mandibuzz to win. Mandibuzz plus Hatterene. And so I know it's like, damn, just give up, bro. Just give up, bro. What I'm gonna end up doing is Arus here. Hopefully he fucking stays in. Like, that's my ideal situation. He stays in here, and goes for Shadow Ball, hoping for the power. He would have gotten it too. He was a fool. I should go Hatterene here, but I'm not going to. My Mana Buzz is far more important. I can just defog. This game's far from over. Somebody's like, Jam, just give up, bro. These lucky slime. Yeah. And so now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take a fucking facade. So if I got the Rusob the first time, I wouldn't have to take that facade. I could just U-turn out into Hatterene. I'm just saying this because I think sometimes it's difficult to follow how something leads into something else. And so one turn of quote-unquote luck bleeds into almost, it can bleed 5 turns. It could decide the entire game. And that's the frustrating thing about stuff like this. There's just no way around the facade. And so ideally, you know, Dragapult, I don't think Dragapult can knock me out. And so ideally we want Dragapult in. If he goes Corviknight, this is not what we wanted. I can Healing Wish my Mandibuzz. The problem is the Corviknight just beats me from there. Though the Corviknight can Iron Head away. I forgot I had Healing Wish actually. I could Healing Wish the Mandibuzz. But then how do I beat the Corviknight? I've lost, man. I've just gotta accept that. That is so frustrating, man. So basically, if Mandibuzz hadn't gotten into Obstagoon, didn't get to come into Obstagoon, didn't get to do all it chose. The Obstagoon didn't get to do all the shit that it did. Mandibuzz would be healthy enough to where I wouldn't have to Healing Wish, and so I could play around with stalling a bit. But now, it's just over. I mean, don't know why he'd go Pex. I mean, like the Corviknight walls my Venusaur anyway, so I don't know why I'm even playing. I just can't. These games frustrate me so much, so much. And I suppose the other out is like choke banking, but there's just, let's not waste any more time in the live on this. So we're gonna grab another one. Yeah, I think I'll just have to. Depending on how quick the games go, ideally, you know, I could just ladder up with this team like in the actual live, but I won't carry that game into the next one. Generally, if you're like laddering and a frustrating games like that happens, you want to stop, you know, and not drag that into, because it's easier said than done. You don't want to drag that game into the next one, because then that's how tilt occurs, because then you're frustrated, you're focused on the past, blah, blah, blah. And so that's ideally what you want to do, but because I'm recording, I can't do that. So I'll just have to figure the fucking shit out, and just leave it in the past. So Hatterene, it's not its best matchup. Doesn't pick up any KOs, and most of his team can hit me fairly effectively. But you know, what we do have going for us is the it causes the opponent to less likely go for Stealth Rock or any form of status. So Mana Buzz is going to be critical, primarily for Excadrill and for Dragapult, those two, and Gengar and Hippowdon, and Seismitoad guards against the other two. Now we can overwhelm him, which is what I'm going for. If we double down on our Sun and overwhelm him early, then it's our game to lose. I don't have any information on the Gengar, and I don't have any information on the Grimmsnarl, and the Dragapult. Physical Dragapult is problematic, so We're gonna have to be wary of that. Venusaur also destroys the opponent. He has to hard switch into the Hippowdon to control that. And so all these things being considered, I'm gonna double down again on Venusaur, Merc with Charizard as often as possible, and so we're gonna go off with the Mandibuzz. Did not expect a Grimmsnarl lead. I don't think it matters too much. I just didn't expect Grimmsnarl because that's not the best Sun matchup. So perhaps this is a Snarl sort of situation. I don't want Venusaur getting paralyzed, so what I'm gonna do is set up Sun as he Spirit Breaks. No surprise there. And what this allows now is for us to go for Zard. Now, if it's a light screen variant, what I'm wary of is like a taunt. Like if he taunts here, he just like I lose all momentum. What's the greater evil? So he could have T-Wave. If he has taunt, then he likely doesn't have T-Wave. And so we're gonna do is stealth. There's a taunt, and so probably doesn't have T-Wave. He's gonna light screen here. So this lost us a lot of momentum. Whereas if we went Zard that turn, he'd have to pick light screen and then bada bing bada boom. And so we're just gonna have to double down on it. So so we would he'd have to, now he gets to set up whatever he wants, does whatever he wants, and that's again what I was describing earlier about the importance of understanding how that Stealth Rock was like the worst Stealth Rock of all time. Not just because you could have bounced by Hatterene. That gave me a lot of information. That was like the worst Stealth Rock of all time, because what that does is it invites Mandibuzz. He should have slacked off because that Hippowdon is important. That's important, as you can see. It doesn't take a hit from my Zard without the. And so to force Rotom in now. Let's see. Surprise your tone. It could be Trick Rotom. Hatterene's low value, so and we already established that. So I'm definitely going to Hatterene on the off chance that it's some kind of trick or a toxic variant. And so now, positionally, you're horrible versus Hatterene. Just dreadful. But I'm smarter than the average bear to know you're gonna either pivot to Excadrill or you're gonna Volt Switch out here. And so now this gives me the opportunity to get up Stealth Rocks, or because he doesn't guard well against. No, Stealth Rocks guarantees value. I guess he forgot. I mean, I'll take it. So now I get to go to. I didn't think he'd go Excadrill. I don't think Excadrill was ever to play, ever. I Toxic there. In hindsight, Toxic wasn't a play either. I just thought he'd go to Grimmsnarl, and then that would give me some playing room with the Grimmsnarl. Now I don't regret Toxic, because I mean either way you're gonna go. The two Toxic switch-ins are Excadrill and Gengar, both of which you don't want in any way. And so obviously we're gonna just rock spam. He's still doing 7%, which is nuts. And he's gonna die to how much is burn? I mean, I don't need this to be at full for any particular reason. Burn is doing 6%, so he has 2 more turns. Yeah. And so Gengar is going to rear its ugly head. Mandibuzz is far too important for Dragapult. And so I don't know what to expect from this Gengar. Perhaps Shadow Ball, perhaps... not Energy Ball, what am I saying? Perhaps Shadow Ball, perhaps... what's my best? I do think Mandibuzz is correct. I can give him an opening if he randomly rogue T-Bolts anticipating my Mandibuzz. And so at this point I no longer need the Sun to win. And so what I'm going to do is mid-ground Torkoal just to scout out what his Gengar is going to do. So Shadow Ball, if it does that much, it specs. And now I can safely go to my Mandibuzz. Sun is up. I wish I had something with Rocky Helmet right here. But positionally, we can just go to... no. Yeah, he got rid of the hazards. Yeah, we needed some Rocky Helmet. We could pivot to... I'll play. So what we're gonna do is position Venusaur to force that Dragapult in. We know it's gonna rapid spin. Surprise, surprise. Excadrill is now down, so now you can't go to Hippowdon, can't go to Gengar, can't go to anything but Dragapult. And so we then control his actions. That's the point of positioning. And so let's see. Our goal at this point, one of the whole positions that cannot be defended. I mean, attack positions that cannot be defended, meaning use a Pokemon that the opponent loses a Pokemon to every single time. In which case, that would be like kind of his Charizard, but Dragapult can take one hit, and so not exactly. And so at this point, the Dragapult's core purpose is to. I am gonna Mandy, unless it's like Thunder or something, right? And from what we learned from the first game, that was the first game, right, or whatever. Physical Dragapult is something we have to be wary of. As long as my Mandibuzz is beyond a certain range to where he can't Shadow Ball away, we're good. And this now allows for Sun. That was actually the smart decision, not to allow Mandibuzz to just run over you. That was a very wise decision. And so this Grimmsnarl, I mean, I'd assume it's max HP, probably max HP, like max speed or something. There's no point. The U-turn damage is negligible. The upside though is that I'm actually gonna U-turn out, because I want him to use the move he's gonna use before I hard switch, because that determines what I'll go to. So he's showing Spirit Break. It's definitely gonna be leftovers. Reflect. And so, you know, as I said before, we want to hold positions that cannot be defended, right? We've already, because this Hippowdon came in last time, we established Hippowdon can't take a hit. So Zard, we have to assess the Zard's purpose at this point. Okay, well, Zard only beats Hippowdon makes. Remember what I just talked to him about? Remember what I just talked about with regards to Hippowdon coming in versus allowing Mandibuzz to come in? Let's see if he makes the same mistake with the Stealth Rock. Nope. So then all that hard-earned hazards that he just got is for nothing, and now I just lose to Mandibuzz. And so, where are we at? We lost a ton of points to that one dude. 1667. You see what I'm talking about? Like, I'll have to just ladder up. I'll just have to ladder up. Just off screen. I enjoyed playing that game though. You can tell with the practice it's making a difference. Like, my thought process is a lot more clear. And so the more mistakes I make, and the more I'll play one more because I really enjoyed that game. And then we'll wrap it up. 1644. I like to hover because it gives me an idea of around that your mindset, as I don't know what to expect in this one, which are the most dangerous games to play. Yeah, Mandibuzz infinitely beats the shell though, so Mandibuzz will never ever come out in this game. It doesn't guard against his Stealth Rocker, and it loses to almost everything else. So I'll never send out Mandibuzz unless it's versus Poltergeist. So establishing that early will help me maneuver around a lot better. Now let's establish what he can't guard against. Okay, Venusaur first and foremost. Upon clicking Giga Drain, I'll have to play a little bit around. I know he's gonna try to pivot around the Cinderace, Sludge Bomb, but beyond that, like, we're really solid in the department. I'm actually not gonna even overinvest Zard in the Sun. I'm gonna Air Slash because I want to hit that Dracovish, because the Dracovish can take 2 Sun boosted flamethrowers. Maybe not with rocks, but it can certainly take it without them. And I can only get up rocks and keep them if I trade them with the Cinderace. Can't hazard control, yada yada yada. And so you get the idea there. But we're definitely going to control the Sun primarily for the Dracovish. And we're going to double down with Hatterene, and because Hatterene upon clicking Psychic is unguardable. And so the Cobalion, I'm going to put it in an awkward spot. Let's see. I am concerned about Cinderace. Whimsica's the only. So he leads Dracovish, which is perfect for us. We're not gonna stealth rock. I don't remember how the magic bounce interaction goes with court change, so I'm not gonna even play that game. Plus Hatterene is far too valuable to play that game either way. So we're gonna do is Toxic here as he goes to Poltergeist. Literally, this thing is on the team for this, and so I'll never let this do anything. I'll never let that Poltergeist even do, like, make a move. And because I don't know anything about the Zero, we're in hold positions again that cannot be defended. And so I didn't think he'd go Cinderace. I don't mind not Sludge Bombing there because that would bring him within Powerball range. And so keeping our macro game plan in mind, okay, what did we set we want to do in the beginning? Mandibuzz can't be touched. Hatterene can't be guarded against. So Zero or after Rocks. Well, if we go for Rocks is in Psychic range, but Psychic range period. This Poltergeist is useless. Cinderace already at 66%. Seismitoad helps with Cobalion and Dracovish, so we don't want to double down on that. And so just to see, because Zard, we already established we're not going to use Zard in the way that, you know, we're not going to just send it in and mindlessly use it. So what I'm going to do, we're not going to Flamethrower at least. So what I'm going to do is go to my Zard hard because it forces in Zero Aura. It forces him to make certain decisions, and forces him to make certain decisions. And so now I can control the sun if I so choose. And so let me think. Torkoal, anticipating Plasma Fist / knockoff, and then pivoting to Venusaur means Torkoal. What would be your initial switch into Torkoal? Potential Cinderace. I'm somewhat wary of the Dracovish, but that's my main concern, and I can't risk him randomly either knocking off or sludge bombing. I mean, grass knotting on Seismitoad coming in. It's far too important. So, and especially because it's a Zero, it's just the likelihood of it not having grass knot is pretty low. And so it's a Life Orb variant. Upside though, Torkoal can just straight go for Lava Plume. Now, what I'm gonna do, because what I don't want is Cinderace coming in on that Lava Plume. That's actually kind of problematic. And I don't want to Stealth Rock on. So what I can do, the Dracovish. That's what I didn't want to have in, because now, actually no, we can go Hatterene. We force the Dracovish to go for. You can't Fish User in, and so Cinderace comes in. It actually survives. It's a big deal. Sun boosted, Blaze boosted Cinderace is no joke. So if we yawned the Dracovish there, that would have been a phenomenal position for us, because then we could Lava Plume the next turn. But he likely would have gone to Cinderace, or what we could have done was yawned and Venusaur. But he was wise enough to go hard Dracovish on the Torkoal, which I wasn't sure about. And so, kudos. Sun turn, sack. Venusaur gets a kill. So I do not need my Charizard. I'm gonna allow it to go down to this boosted Power Ball, and we're gonna remove a Pokemon. So we're gonna Weather Ball hard on the off chance he tries to play around with the Cobalion. If Cobalion goes away, yeah, it's just Sludge Bomb season. And I mean, that was the correct play. Like, you wanted to pivot around because this is such a problem. And so now I don't know what to expect. Perhaps Memento. Beyond this point, if that's your game plan, or if it's like stunts, it can't Stun Spore. Switcheroo, Lagging Tail. Okay, I'm still mad fast. Lagging Tail. I still should be fast. I'm trying to think if there is a, because, you know, obviously the sun boosted 515. I'm trying to think. 515. What is Lagging Tail? How, I don't know Lagging Tail's the likelihood of Lagging Tail being enough to stop me here is really low. However, I don't want to just throw away the game for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'll do here is I'm gonna give him Torkoal. See Pyro Balls. Okay, excellent. And so we can pivot to Toad here. Yeah, excellent. And so now we can just Earth Power. Poltergeist likely go away. Mon Poltergeist goes away. I'll stop playing so safely with my Mandibuzz. As he gets the Spadef drop. He could pivot back to Cinderace. Pivot to Zeraora. Makes sense too. And so now, again, we're going to learn today. We're going to learn today. Just Lava Plume. It shows the Grass Knot. I don't know why he showed Grass Knot. And so obviously Poltergeist is gonna get sacked. Giga Drain. I'm double the speed. I am double the speed. There is absolutely no fucking way Cinderace outspeeds me. See? Poltergeist outsped me. What the fuck does Lagging Tail do? If Poltergeist, I'm really glad that I didn't assume that's the case. How the fuck did Poltergeist what's it? Data? Lagging Tail. Holder, remove last. Oh shit, this shit just is never gonna outspeed anything. So I needed to be bulky enough to, wow, so that was a mistake. Thankfully I'm healthy enough to take on Zeraora anyway. But yeah, that was a mistake. So at this point Hatterene beats Zera, but I mean, you know, whatever. So I have to keep Seismitoad around to take on Dracovish. Seismitoad plus Hatterene cannot go. Yeah, we give up Buzz here. Give up Buzz. And we Earth Power. If he goes Dracovish and he gives me the Vish. Gives me the Vish. Because Seismitoad is mad healthy. Yeah. And so he has to make a decision. He could Crunch, which is problematic. Hatterene takes 2 crunches, I think. Outrage would be problematic. Also thinking if Hatterene just wins, but he'd have to take a hit. Because Dracovish is a 3 a KO. I get 2 a KO'd. Then it's... Hatterene definitely takes a Pyro Ball. So I take 2 Leech Life. Okay. Definitely going Hat. Definitely going Hat. Leech Life is doing 31%. Yeah, this is draining. This is Draining Kiss. And so now we can Psychic. We do have Healing Wish. Psychic is just to cover, you know, Zeraora tanking the Healing Wish. And so at this point, Venu plus Seismitoad should do the trick. He had threats, right? You know, I had to respect his threateningness, whatever. But the question is, does Venusaur actually take a... I know Hatterene definitely takes a Plasma Fist. Does Venusaur take a knock? Player of... the likelihood of him not having CC is fairly low. I mean, I guess I could just hard switch to Seismitoad here. A crit Power Ball would lose me the game, he thinks. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. U-turns out. Okay, so that was the route he was trying to take. Okay, fair enough. And so, you know, Hatterene is light. Again, could just Calc Bank. So he does CC's his last move. Okay, now I know that CC's last move, but we're good. We're good because we just go for fucking Draining Kiss. Yeah. Wow. Hatterene is mad bulky, bros. So, you know, obviously Seismitoad takes a hit from there. GG. Though you could crit, so let's not say that yet. Let's not say that yet. I don't know if a crit kills me. Ooh, it wouldn't have, but I just don't like giving people room for luck. So if I can minimize it, I'll play around. And then obviously it was a knockoff. Let's set. He doubled down on close call because I was like, you're straight walled by Pharaoh. But just because I didn't know for sure if he was walled, if he was running knock, that's why I didn't just like double down on Venusaur, and I wasn't sure to roll on Venusaur with the knock and whatnot. And frankly, I was just too lazy to calc that shit. So we're back to 1706. We're gonna grab one more. I'm really enjoying playing. I mean, this is what I do. Like and I don't make shit from this shit. So, you know, I upload because I enjoy it. I enjoy playing, and whenever I'm in practice and whenever my brain is processing information as it should and quality games, that's what we're here for, and that's what you guys are here for. And so this is gonna be up mad late because of it, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so facing another conch, facing another Zera, and we're facing a Ditto. Ditto matters, but what we're gonna have to do similarly to the previous game is we're never gonna switch into Mandibus, primarily for Ditto coming in on Venusaur. Now, something else we got to be aware of is Ditto coming in on Charizard. And so ideally I'm going to try to get Charizard to be in a situation where it's always like relatively healthy when I'm going to attack, because that way Ditto can't choice scarf kill me. I can choice specs kill him, but he can't choice scarf kill me. And so Hatterene's core purpose in this one is going to be, it's actually quite solid. It's really solid. I haven't abused Healing Wish. I haven't really been putting it in my game plan. Seismitoad guards well against 1, potentially 2, and has Toxic for the Mew, which I want to be wary of. Like if it's a like that barrier stuff. And so definitely doubling down on Venusaur. This is a tough, because we don't want to give. You'd never lead Zeraora though, but oh, I was very wrong. very wrong. I was like, you'd never lead Zeraora, but I was wrong. And so we'll go Cole, as Cole guards against Grass Knot, and it guards against, and it starts up the Sun as well, and also allows us to get up Stealth Rock. Now, again, I don't know why you'd lead Zera. I know T-Tar is going to be trying to hazard control and all that. And I could have yawned. Problem with yawning is that I'd probably, like, he would never go conk that turn, but if I yawned, and then I'd have to predict that he'd likely go to conk, predicting my Seismitoad. And so, because I don't know anything about the Mew, I don't have any information on this, and this could likely be a Bantar, in which case I'll have to Mandibus sack, but I have to throw in my Seismitoad here. I want to be very careful around. It's not banned. Please don't drop my defense. That would have been a big deal. And so, I'll Earth Power. It guarantees me value. I don't know anything about. I don't get why you'd ever go Seismitoad here, especially if you right. Like, the only pivot you can make out is Drill, and if I stay in an Earth Power, you'd never go Drill. So, like, very odd decision. I also could just go Zard. Problem is I'd have to Focus Blast, and I don't want to risk that yet. So I'm just gonna hat. Very odd Ditto decision. Yeah, like, and so now you put me in a spot where you're either gonna go straight Drill. You could go Mew too. So let me see. Drill, Mew, T-Tar, T-Tar. I don't mind T-Tar coming in. I can't have Drill. There's nothing I can pivot to that Drill other than Seismitoad. but he has one more turn of sand unless he's smooth rock, and then he has to attack me, right? And so we found out that he's a sand drill. Always going Zard here, even if he rock slides. There's no situation where I don't go Zard here. It's okay. So T-Tar pivot, and so Focus Blast here would be a huge deal, a huge deal. But I'm gonna just make the correct play, because if I miss Focus Blast and Stone Edge hits me, I wasted my Charizard. I can play around that better. Yeah, the risk isn't just, it's not worth the reward. And so this positions me again. The biggest thing with Zard I want from out of it is biggest thing out of my Zard is just weakness policy. Which means obviously he lives here, but he's slow. Again, the biggest thing out of my Zard is the fact that it outspeeds Conk and can just one-shot it. Conk otherwise could be problematic to kill. I'm very surprised by the weakness policy route. Because he has one more turn of sand, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to allow Torkoal to take this weakness policy boost. I know I won't die from Crunch, and we don't want this thing just running about like it pleases, you know what I'm saying? And so we're gonna give up Toad, which I'm not like excited about, and you know, obviously Venusaur covers Rock Polish, so he'd have to, and so can't guard against Grass. It's the freest Giga Drain of all time. Maybe he'll stay in. That would be the best case situation, because then I don't have to worry about Drill as much. I did not think he would go to his Ditto. Actually, the Buzz is for the Ditto. I didn't think he'd go to Ditto, but this is still the same situation unless he gets Zard back in, and so I can get T-Tar back in, and so I can U-turn out. The reason that this is big, I don't want Mana Buzz too low, is because of his Drill, but because he doesn't have hazards up. Mew seems to be his hazarder. Mew is now, well, not Mew, fucking Ditto. I was gonna say Ditto is now dead. That's not true. I'm low enough for his Drill, and I don't know how I'm gonna heal. Again, if I roosted there, he crit me with Weather Ball, which, you know, obviously matters. Man, and so I'm gonna have to take a Weather Ball again, which again we don't want to open up Conk. My hand is forced though. Still far from over if I play Venusaur and Hatterene correctly. Hatterene's pretty problematic. And so these last three are gonna be huge. I think if he goes Tara to it KO with Specs, and he can't get rid of the Ditto, not the Ditto, you know what I'm saying. And so we never wanted to have Mana Buzz in there anyway. But if we knew he was gonna stay in, because the thing is, he could have switched and kept the Ditto because he was at 20%, so that Ditto would have been important. Would have been an important member to have. And him going Zeraora would be a horrible play, because then you just give me another kill. So he goes T-Tar, which is what was expected. And he has Rock Polish, which I have to be mindful of. But Hatterene can take that. Charizard he's free to Stone Edge here. I could sack Buzz. Could sack Buzz and go to Venu. Because we'd just be wasting. Could also hard Venu, but I don't like that play. I'm not going to take Stone Edge well. And then you can just go to Mew. So he does Rock Polish, which I didn't expect him to do. But it works though. It works. If I went Torkoal, there would be a waste of a turn. But it works. And what I can do now is, again, Venus should take a hit, right? But I'm gonna lose damn near 2 mons instead of 1. So the Rock Polish was a solid play there. If I go Torkoal, he loses another mon. Actually, I can't afford to. That might have been a misplay. I'll have to thoroughly outplay him, because he might lose 2 mons here. Gonna growth. I don't think he'd sack Tar. I'm trying to get 2 mons out of him. Tar and this. And then if I can stall out the drill, he sacks the drill. Why the fuck would you sack drill? I'm outside of drill range anyway, but why would you sack drill? That was like the one thing you're keeping T-Tar for. Like, these kind of players frustrate the shit out of me, man. Why would you sack drill of all things? Now maybe he'll fear growth again. Okay, so he does keep the drill sacked. It's a big deal, because if that Mew isn't, I don't see too many psychic Mews, and so Venusaur might be just looking to straight sweep here. Even if it doesn't, like say he goes hard Mew here, even if it doesn't, the likelihood that, again, I haven't seen too many psychic Mews. Venusaur is still very good though. I'd just be hurt if this was like that body press Mew set, you know. I'm gonna Sludge Bomb. It's nasty plow. Okay, destruction. He probably expected my Mandibus to come in, so that's game. You gotta know when to predict, dude. That was not the time. And so Giga Drain probably knocked him out, but Sludge is just a better play as he knocks, and we go down. And of the Zeraora is a threat, but he showed Grass Knot. I want to say Draining Kiss, because we've Sandstorm, another round. He has one more turn. Plasma Fist is doing 41%. Draining Kiss did 31. Psychic is almost twice as strong. I think another Draining Kiss is the play. Yeah, because into Psychic. Okay. Whew. Alright, so wild plays like those, like going to drill on T-Tar. The reason it's harder to play people who are like, who don't have a particular structure in mind, is because their plays can be sporadic. So when a player can't distinguish the best play from the not, like, it's sporadic. Whereas with like a 1900 player, it's easy for me to read them, because I know there's a rationale to things. And unfortunately or fortunately, in Pokemon, it's not always just skill. You can lose to somebody, but you just gotta have to, like, whether you lose or not, you still have to take, you know, responsibility for that shit. You can't point out and you know, it's because he sucks. You still have to take responsibility for it, but at the same time, it's just the reality of the game. And so what you want to do, what I generally do when I don't know opponent's skill, is I try to, well, especially if it's a tournament, I use a setup sweeping based team, because with setup sweepers it's very difficult to, even if it's the best way to bypass a player that you're not sure what they're gonna do. Some people use stall for that too. Like, generally people bring stock and they're like, I don't know how good this guy is, I'm gonna stall him. But for my route, I don't use stall, so my route is generally, I'm gonna use a solid setup sweeping type of team. So it doesn't really matter his skill level. I'm trying to sweep him. But when it's a balanced kind of game where like I have to set up Sun and it gets real dicey. But Hatterene, MVP of this live easily. And so I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching. The Academy is on fire right now, guys. The Academy is on fire. Go join the Academy right now. What more can be said? Again, top of the ladder, 1800, 1600, wherever you fall, you can go there, meet people, and they can help you bypass things. Don't be shy, guys. We are all here to help, and you don't have to do it alone. And if you want to join any of these tiered chats, you can. All you have to do is click the button. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.